Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya
Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Krishna Rukmini Jaya Satyabhama Krishna Rukmini Jaya Satyabhama Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Vishnupat Paramansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Vishwaguru A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Vishnupat Paramansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad-Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama Ki Jai Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 26, Fundamental Principles of Material Nature, text number 21. Yat tat sattva gunam swachham. Yat tat sattva gunam swachham. Yat tat sattva gunam swachham. Shantam bhagavataha padam. Shantam bhagavata padam. Shantam bhagavata padam. Yad ahuhu vasudeva akhyam. Yadahur vasudevakhyam. Yadahur vasudevakhyam. Chittam tat mahad atmakam. Chittam tan mahadatmakam. Chittam tan mahadatmakam. Yattat sattvagunam swachham. Shantam bhagavata padam. Yadahur vasudevakhyam. Chittam tan mahadatmakam. Yattat sattvagunam swachham. Shantam bhagavata padam. Yadahur vasudevakhyam. Chittam tan mahadatmakam.
Mahadatmakam. Yattat sattvagunam swachham. Shantam bhagavata padam. Yadahur vasudevakhyam. Chittam tan mahadatmakam.
Yattat sattvagunam swachham. Shantam bhagavata padam. Yadahur vasudevakhyam. Chittam tan mahadatmakam.
Yattat sattvagunam swachham. Shantam bhagavata padam. Yadahur vasudevakhyam. Chittam tan mahadatmakam.
Yat, which, tat, that, sattva gunam, the mode of goodness, swachham, clear, shantam, sober, bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead, padam, the status of understanding, yat, which, ahuhu, is called Vasudeva Akhyam, by the name Vasudeva. Chittam, consciousness. Tat, that. Mahat Atmakam, manifest in the Mahat Tattva. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The mode of goodness, which is the clear, sober status of understanding the personality of Godhead, and which is generally called Vasudeva or consciousness, becomes manifest in the Mahat Tattva. Kindly repeat. The mode of goodness, which is the clear, sober status of understanding the personality of Godhead, and which is generally called Vasudeva or consciousness, becomes manifest in the Mahat Tattva. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Vasudeva manifestation, or the status of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called pure goodness or Shuddha Sattva. In the Shuddha Sattva status, there is no infringement of the other qualities, namely passion and ignorance. In the Vedic literature, there is mention of the Lord's expansion as the four personalities of Godhead, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Here, in the reappearance of the Mahatattva, the four expansions of Godhead occur. He who is seated within as Supersoul expands first as Vasudeva. The Vasudeva stage is free from infringement by material desires and is the status in which one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the objective which is described in the Bhagavad Gita as Adbhuta. This is another feature of the Mahatattva. The Vasudeva expansion is also called Krishna consciousness, for it is free from all tinges of material passion and ignorance. This clear state of understanding helps one to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vasudeva status is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita as Kshetrajna, which refers to the knower of the field of activities as well as the superknower. The living being who has occupied a particular type of body knows that body, but the superknower, Vasudeva, knows not only a particular type of body, but also the field of activities in all the different varieties of bodies. In order to be situated in clear consciousness or Krishna consciousness, one must worship Vasudeva. Vasudeva is Krishna alone. When Krishna or Vishnu is alone, without the accompaniment of his internal energy, he is called Vasudeva. When he is accompanied by his internal potency, he is called Dwarkadisha. To have clear consciousness or Krishna consciousness, one has to worship Vasudeva. It is also explained in Bhagavad Gita that after many, many births, one surrenders to Vasudeva. Such a great soul is very rare. In order to get release from the false ego, one has to worship Sankarshana. Sankarshana is also worshipped through Lord Shiva. The snakes which cover the body of Lord Shiva are representations of Sankarshana, and Lord Shiva is always absorbed in meditation upon Sankarshana. One who is actually a worshipper of Lord Shiva as a devotee of Sankarshana can be released from false material ego. If one wants to get free from mental disturbances, one has to worship Aniruddha. For this purpose, worship of the moon planet is also recommended in the Vedic literature. Similarly, to be fixed in one's intelligence, one has to worship Pradyumna, who is reached through the worship of Brahma. These matters are explained in Vedic literature. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dina Taranam. About 6 years ago, 2019, I had gone to Gangotri and Yamunotri. Those days, we used to be in Dehradun. So from Dehradun, we had taken a cab and we had gone. And the drive from Dehradun to Gangotri is very beautiful. From the distance, when you start from Dehradun, you can start seeing the snow-covered peaks of Himalayas. And then gradually, as we grow closer, we come closer to Himalayas, then actually the magnitude of the Himalayas starts sinking in. Huge boulders, huge caves, and all along the way, a lot of streams of water. And one place we had stopped on the way, there was a hot water spring. A lot of people used to stop there. It's a regular spot. All the people who are there. Water is hot, like a geyser, hot water like that. Natural hot water spring. And then we drove, and finally we reached Gangotri. So when we reached Gangotri, we have to park the car away. We cannot go all the way up to Gangotri. All of you, any of you who have gone there, you will know. So then we had to walk a little distance. And then we came to the Gangotri temple. We had darshan there. Then from the Gangotri temple itself, there are a few steps. It's built like a ghat. You go there, and you have the Ganga flowing there. And people go and take their bath there. But there the water was ice cold. So I did not have the guts to take bath. So I just did some achaman and sprinkled the water. So one thing I noticed there, of course, in the Ganga, close to Dehradun, we have Haridwar also. Many times I've gone to Har Ki Pauri, taken bath there. Har Ki Pauri is very famous, very lot of people come from Delhi on weekends to come and take bath there and then go back. So Har Ki Pauri, many times I've gone, taken bath and all that. But here in Gangotri, I saw that the water was crystal clear. So clear water, when I stood on the ghat and I was looking, I could see till the bottom, all the pebbles, stones, they were all at the bottom, clearly, perfectly you can see. The water is fully transparent. You cannot say that in Har Ki Pauri. Of course, from my childhood, I've taken bath in lots of rivers because born in Kerala, I used to go every summer to Kerala. So taken bath in many rivers, but never seen any river where the water is crystal clear, so much so that the bottom of the river bed, you can see all the pebbles lying there. And because it's so crystal clear, you cannot make out how deep the water is also. So, when the water comes down to the lower plains, what happens? By then, a lot of dust and earth and all these things, kind of things get mixed up with the water. It becomes muddy. So by the time it reaches Har Ki Pauri and all that, hardly, you cannot make out that crystal clear water, you cannot make out. And of course, by the time it reaches Delhi, all the effluents from the factories also start mixing. Then after that, you will see only foam. You go to Delhi, that Yamuna is flowing there near that Okla barrage. You go there, Yamuna water will be there, it will be full of foam. Because mainly industrial waste. But otherwise, originally, the water is clear, transparent. Similarly, Prabhupada talks about his experience when he was going in the Jaladuta ship from India to America. Prabhupada says when they were in the middle of the ocean, Prabhupada says the water was crystal clear. He could see 30 feet, 40 feet down into the water. You can clearly make out. There is no dust, there is no muddiness. Pure water you can see. Transparent water. So, in this material world, we have every living entity is conscious. We have animals, we have plants, we have birds, we have aquatics, human beings, all are conscious. But our consciousness currently is not in a state where we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this state where we are not able to perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although He is present everywhere. Sometimes people say, the impersonalists, they say, God is everywhere, why do you have to go to the temple? So, by their own logic, if God is everywhere, God is in the temple also. Point is, are we able to see Him everywhere? We are not able to see Him. The fact is, God is there everywhere. But we are not able to see Him everywhere. The Bhagavad Gita, in a very simple terms, Krishna says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. Krishna is the taste of water. Prabhasmi Shasi Suryayoho. I am the light of the sun and the moon. So, everybody has to drink water. No, you cannot survive without drinking water. So, we are drinking water every day, but where are we able to perceive Krishna there? And anybody who has the power of sight will have to see with the help of the sunlight and the moonlight only. But are we able to see Krishna there? We are not able to see. Therefore, Krishna comes in his Archa Vigraha form as a deity form in the temple so that we are able to see him. That's the significance of a temple, because temple is a place where Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has specifically manifested for us to be able to see, which otherwise, although he is present everywhere, Andantarastam Paramanu Chayantarastam, he is present within every atom and within the universe, but we are not able to see. So, therefore, Krishna comes in the form of the Vigraha in the temple. So, the temple is a specific place of residence where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, makes himself visible to ordinary conditioned souls who are otherwise not able to see him. That's the mercy of Krishna. So now, although we are conscious, we are able to perceive the world around us, we are able to see so many things, we are able to hear, we are able to touch, we are able to taste, we are able to smell, all these faculties we have. But with all of these faculties, we are unable to perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because our consciousness at the present moment is contaminated. It is like the muddy water of the river. Now, the original state of the water is what? It is not muddy. Like the Gangotri water, it is crystal clear, transparent. Any depth below it, you can see the river bed. Or like Prabhupada says, in the middle of the ocean, the water is crystal clear, you can see 30 feet, 40 feet deep. So that's the original state of the water. Now in an artificial state, the water has become muddy, it has become contaminated. Similarly, our consciousness is currently contaminated, because of which we are not able to perceive Krishna. But that's not our original consciousness. Our original consciousness is to be able to perceive Krishna everywhere. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vasudevaha sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudevaha sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. After taking many births and cultivating jnana, knowledge of the Vedas, one becomes a Mahatma by recognizing that everything is actually emanating from Krishna. Krishna is the source of everything. Then he becomes a Mahatma. And then he surrenders to Krishna. Krishna, you are everything. You are the one who is the source of everything. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then one becomes a Mahatma. So, to come to that state is called, as it is mentioned in today's verse, Yat Sat Sattvagunam Swachham. It is the state of Swachha Sattvaguna or Vishuddha Sattvaguna. The state where we are in a state of consciousness which is purified goodness. In this material world also there is Sattvaguna, the mode of goodness. But in the material world, the mode of goodness is contaminated by the modes of passion and ignorance. Mode of goodness, Sattva-guna, is the guna where there is possibility of understanding spiritual knowledge. As long as our consciousness is overpowered by the modes of passion and ignorance, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki jai. As long as our consciousness is overpowered by the modes of Rajoguna and Tamoguna, it will not be possible to comprehend Vedic knowledge, to be able to understand the message of the Bhagavad Gita, to be able to surrender to Krishna. It is not possible. So, Sattva-guna that way is a gateway through which we can escape this cycle of birth and death. We can strive for liberation if we are situated in the Sattva-guna. But still, Sattva-guna is also not purified in the material world. It's still contaminated. But at least it is not as muddy as the modes of passion and ignorance, where the knowledge is completely covered. There is no possibility at all of knowing Krishna. So, the process of coming to the state of Sattva Guna, we have to understand, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandvamoha vinurmukta bhajante mam dhridavrataha. Krishna says, those people who are completely freed of all sinful activities, Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam, and they are engaged only in pious activities. Such people become situated in Sattva Guna, and they become free from the dualities of material nature, and they will be able to commence devotional service to Krishna, bhakti to Krishna. So, we should not think that whatever kind of lifestyle we have that has no connection with our spiritual pursuits. Sometimes some pseudo religionists, they say, you can eat meat, you can drink alcohol, you can smoke. It has no connection with spirituality. Spirituality is different, this is different. This is your personal life. Personal life has got nothing to do with spiritual life. No. Krishna is telling very clearly, unless you become free from all the sinful activities, which are summarized under 4 activities: illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, intoxication. Unless one becomes fully free from these 4 activities, it is impossible to understand spiritual subject matter. We will continue to be contaminated by the modes of passion and ignorance, by which we will not be able to perceive spiritual knowledge. So, the method to come to the point of Sattva Guna, to be able to be predominantly situated in the mode of goodness, is to become free from all sinful activities and to always engage in pious activities. But still, even that is not enough, because still the mirror of our mind is still contaminated. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshashtaka, he gives another example to explain our contaminated consciousness. One is like the water which is crystal clear and the water which is contaminated, which is muddy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives another example. Cheto darpanam arjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the example of a mirror. Now if a mirror is covered with a layer of dust, what will happen? You look at the mirror, you will not be able to see yourself. Actually, that's our present condition. Because of our contaminated consciousness, we are not able to see ourselves. We can only see this body. We are not able to see ourselves. And others also, other living entities also, when we see only the bodies. We are not able to see the soul within the body. So, that means our consciousness is contaminated. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the example, just like dust has covered a mirror. Now, Cheto Darpana, the mirror of the mind, Marjanam, when it is cleansed, then what will happen? We will come to the stage of Sattva Guna. So, what is the problem? What is the problem in being in Rajoguna and Tamoguna? Okay, I am not able to understand spiritual subject matter. How does it matter? We look at the whole world. People are engaged in activities of passion and ignorance. They are engaged in pursuits of enhancing their economic development, increasing the comforts of their life, having a good life, helping each other, being good to others, taking care of the family, household affairs, the responsibilities of the family. All this is going on under the modes of passion and ignorance, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So what's the problem? So the problem is that as long as the mirror of our mind is not cleansed of the contamination of Rajoguna and Tamoguna, just like as long as the river water is muddy, it is not pure, what will happen? Cheto darpana marjanam bhava maha dava agni. Dava agni. Agni means fire. Dava agni means forest fire. Maha dava agni means a conflagration, a blazing forest fire. So, samsara, this life in this material world, we may try to enjoy by increasing the modes of passion and ignorance, enhancing our economic development, improving our knowledge of science and technology, and improving the comforts of life. We may try all these things. But the more we try, are we becoming satisfied and peaceful? No. On the other hand, as much as our economic development and our scientific development, technological development increases, what is happening? People are getting more and more dissatisfied. This is called Bhava Mahadavagni. This is like a forest fire, the forest fire of repeated birth and death within the material world. So, forest fire, nobody sets with, deliberately. Nobody goes to the forest and deliberately sets fire. It happens on its own. Like that, in our lives also, nobody wants distress. Nobody wants unhappiness. Nobody wants miseries. But these things are forced upon us. Everyone is striving to become happy. Everyone is working hard to increase the happiness in his life. But is everybody becoming happy by that? They may get some happiness, but that happiness is accompanied by so much distress. So this is called the blazing fire of material nature. As long as we are, the mirror of the mind is covered by the dust of modes of passion and ignorance, what will happen? We are not able to perceive that no matter how much we endeavor, suffering will not go away, it will keep coming. Only when the mirror of our mind is cleansed of the modes of ignorance and passion, when we come situated in Sattva-guna, then what happens? We'll be able to see the reality. Tasyeva hetoha prayateta kovido na labhyate yadbramatam uparyadaha. Tallabhyate dukkavad anyatah sukham kalena sarvatra gabiraram hasa. Kalena sarvatra gabiraram hasa. By the force, by the inexorable force of time, what happens? Everybody has to undergo happiness and distress in this material world. So the Bhagavatam is saying in the first canto, 5th chapter, it is saying, Tasyaiva hetoho prayateta kovidaha. A learned person, he should not engage in hard work, in endeavor to increase the happiness and comforts in life. Why? What is wrong in working hard? Only by working hard we can become happy, we can earn money, we can have a nice house, we can have a car, we can have some good bank balance so that we can all be assured of a retired happy life. What is wrong in working hard? So the Bhagavatam says, Tasyaiva hetoho prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatam uparyadaha tallabhyate dukkavad anyatah sukham. In this material world, nobody works hard to get distress. Nobody works hard that I should get diseased, I should get COVID, I should get fever, I should get cancer. Nobody works. But still these things come in life. So with the intelligent person will think, if distress comes in my life without endeavor, then happiness will also come without endeavor. Whatever is destined, it will come. Nobody can stop. So then what should I do? I should endeavor for that which is not obtainable in the three worlds, right from Brahma Loka down to the nether worlds, down to Patala Loka. What is not available? That I should strive for. What is that which is not available in all these planets? Right from Brahma Loka, Swarga Loka, down to Naraka, the Martya Loka, everywhere. What is not available? The one thing that is not available is Shanti, peace. Everybody is anxious and trying to ward off distresses, but nobody is able to. Even Indra is in great anxiety when his seat will go away. Brahmaji is also anxious when his lifespan will end, because Brahma also has to die. So even Devata, even you go to Swargaloka also, nobody is peaceful. So, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam Bhava Mahadavagni. Therefore, this is the big blazing fire of material existence which engulfs the whole universe right from Brahmaloka, topmost planet, down to the bottommost planet. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, this blazing forest fire can be extinguished. It is possible to extinguish it and experience peace and happiness. Samsara davana lilida loka. So this samsara is the place of forest fire. But cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. It can be extinguished and shreyaha kairava chandrika vitaranam. We can experience the cooling rays of the moonshine. During summer, during the daytime when it becomes very hot, people will be waiting when it will become evening. And in the evening when there is moonshine, we feel very relieved. Isn't it? Moonshine is very cooling. Sunshine is very distressing. So, like the cooling rays of the moon, you can experience great relief from the blazing fire of material distresses. Cheto darpanamarjanam. By when the mirror of our mind is cleansed of the contamination of tamoguna and rajoguna. This is the problem of rajoguna and tamoguna. It gives a sense of happiness, but actually it entraps you in a blazing forest fire of distress after distress. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, it is possible to get out of this. Cheto darpanamarjanam, by cleansing the mirror of the heart. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam. Not only do we experience relief, anandambudi vardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam. At every step we can experience an ocean of unlimited bliss. We can actually experience happiness which is not contaminated with any distress. So how is this possible? Anandambudi vardhanam. What is that? Pratipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna sankirtanam. Simply by chanting Krishna's holy name, we can experience that unadulterated happiness, the unadulterated bliss. And when we come to that state is possible by cleansing the mirror of the mind completely of Rajoguna and Tamoguna and becoming situated in, as it is mentioned here, Swachha Sattva Guna or Vishuddha Sattva Guna. So, in that state, one can actually experience happiness. And so, this real happiness and peace of mind is attained only by the process of Bhakti Yoga, which is executed by Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, by the Sankirtana Yajna, by chanting Krishna's holy name, by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So somebody may question, why only Bhakti Yoga? There are many great personalities who are engaged in Jnana Yoga. There are so many Ashtanga Yogis. What about all of them? So Chaitanya Charitamrita states that Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atayeva Shanta. Only a devotee of Krishna, engaged in devotional service to Krishna, who is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he will become Nishkama, he will become free from all other desires, and therefore he is Shanta, he is peaceful. Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Sakali Ashanta. On the other hand, a jnani is desiring mukti. A karmi who is engaged in materialistic activities, he is desiring bhukti, material enjoyment. And a yogi, Ashtanga yogi, he is desiring the Ashta Siddhis. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhikami, all of them are desiring something or the other. Therefore, Sakali Ashanta, they will always be disturbed by their desires. They can never experience peace. But a devotee of Krishna, because he is Nishkama, he has no other desire, only he can experience real peace of mind, unadulterated peace of mind, uninterrupted peace of mind. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted the verse, Nishkinchanasya bhagavad bhajanonmukhasya param param jigamishor bhavasagarasya sandarshanam vishayinam yoshitam Sandarshanam Vishayinam Atha Yoshitam Sangi Sanginam. Ha Hanta Hanta Vishavakshanato Sadhu. For a devotee, a devotee who is engaged in devotional service to Krishna, Bhajanon Mukhasya, he is Unmukha. You see, everybody is motivated, he is inclined towards doing something. A materialist is inclined, he is Unmukha, he is inclined towards engaging in material sense gratification. That's what drives him. He is always looking forward to that, material sense gratification. He is working hard, but at the back of his mind, what is happening? At the end of the day, I'll be able to enjoy in so many ways. I'll go and drink some alcohol, I'll go and eat some meat, I'll go and enjoy with my partner. So these are at the back of the mind which is driving him to engage in hard work. So he is unmukha towards bhoga, bhukti. And if you look at a jnani, he is unmukha towards mukti. A jnani is also working hard. He is undertaking so much tapasya, studying the Vedic scriptures, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra. He is also engaged in hard work. Why is he doing all these things? What is the motivation? At the back of his mind, what is driving him is mukti. So he is mukti unmukha. And then there is the yogi, the Ashtanga yogis. Just like recently we had Kumbh Mela. During that time, so many yogis, they came from the Himalayas to Prayagraj. We would have all seen. Now all these yogis, why are they giving up the material world and going to the Himalayas, living in seclusion, practicing so much tapasya and all these kind of things? Because they want siddhis. So they are siddhi unmukha. What drives them is the desire to possess siddhi. But a person who is engaged in bhakti yoga, what is driving him? Bhagavad bhajanonmukhasya. He is Bhagavad bhajana unmukha. What drives him is devotional service to Krishna. He has no desire for himself. His only desire is devotional service to Krishna to please him. So such a person is nishkinchanasya. Kinchana means something. Like a karmi, he has lot of desires to enjoy in the material world. Whereas a jnani, he has no desire to enjoy in the material world, but he has one desire to attain mukti. So kinchana, something is there. Similarly, Ashtanga yogi, he has no attachment to this material world. He is not attracted by material enjoyment. That's why he has gone off to the Himalayas. So, but then he also is not nishkinchana. Kinchana, he has got one desire. I should possess the Ashta Siddhis. So, all these bhukti, mukti, siddhikami, they are all not nishkinchana. So they are something, kinchana, something is there. Some desire is there. But a devotee of Krishna, because his only desire is to enjoy, is to engage in devotional service to Krishna, he is nishkinchana. Nishkinchanasya bhagavad bhajanonmukhasya. And by engaging in devotional service, what is he trying to do? Param param jigamishor bhavasagarasya. By engaging in that devotional service and giving up everything else, whatever is desirable for people in the material world, family, wealth, name, fame, position, status, money, they've given up all those things and engaged in exclusive devotional service to Krishna. I don't want anything else. I just want to serve Krishna. So that is their unmukha, that is bhajana unmukhasya. So what is happening to them? Param param jigamishor bhavasagarasya. By doing this, what they are achieving, they are able to cross over the ocean of repeated birth and death. So for such a person, why is a devotee nishkinchana? He has no other desire. He has no desire to enjoy in any way in the material world. Because the desire to enjoy in any way in the material world, what effect it will have on the devotee? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Sandarshanam Vishayinam Atha Yoshitam Sangi Sanginam. For such a devotee, Sandarshanam, even meeting, just meeting a person who is Vishayinam, he is attached to sense gratification, or Yoshitam, who is attached to women. Women not in the sense of denigrating the women class, not like that. Actually, the word Prabhupada explains, Yoshit means what is enjoyable. In common parlance, the word Yoshit means woman. But if you go to the root, Yoshit means that which is enjoyed. So in the material world, when a woman sees a man, when a soul, spirit soul, in a body of a woman looks at a man, the woman thinks, oh, if I get this man as my partner, I will be so happy. So for the woman, the man is Yoshit. He is the source of enjoyment. And the soul in a man's body, he looks at a woman, and what does he think? Oh, if I get this woman, then I will be so happy. So for a man, the woman is Yoshit, a source of enjoyment. For the woman, man is Yoshit, source of enjoyment. So anybody who has this kind of attitude, that by associating with the opposite sex, I will get enjoyment, or a person for whom acquiring wealth and different comforts in life is the goal of life, to meet such a person, or even to meet a person who is associated with such people, hanta hanta vishabhakshana topi asadu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, for a devotee who is engaged in devotional service to Krishna, and he has no other desire, for him to even meet a person who is associated with a person for whom the goal in life is to increase the comforts in life or to enjoy a relationship with the opposite sex, to even meet such a person is worse than drinking poison. Why? Because it will completely destroy his spiritual life. So, does that mean a devotee, when he goes out on the street, he sees some materialistic person walking, immediately close your eyes? Then you will not be able to do any service. The point is, sandarshanam. If you are eager to meet such people, oh, today I am meeting this rich man. If I meet him, I will be able to grasp certain things from him, by which I will also be able to make money. So you see, there is an eagerness to meet a person, to associate with a person. Another is you are meeting a person to extract something from him. You want to engage him in devotional service to Krishna. Both are two different things. So, sandarshanam atha vishayinam atha yoshitam sangi sanginam. If you are eager to meet such people who are engaged in materialistic affairs, then it is worse than drinking poison. Because you will not be able to achieve your desired goal of crossing over the ocean of birth and death. Your consciousness will get contaminated again by Rajoguna and Tamoguna. The crystal clear Gangotri water will again become muddy. The mirror will again become covered by dust. You will lose sight of yourself and of Krishna. So therefore, a devotee has to be very, very careful. His goal should not be that, oh, if I meet this person, I will get something from him. The devotee's mood is, oh, if I am able to meet him, I can give him Krishna consciousness. I can engage him in Krishna's service. With that mood, we can go and meet anyone, no problem. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only said this, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only met so many Vishayis, and he converted them to devotees of Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Janma sarthaka kari kara paropakara. Not only you perfect your life, you help others also, do paropakara. Help others also to perfect their life. How will you help others to perfect their life if you don't go and meet them and talk to them and tell them to chant Hare Krishna? If you think, no, he is a Vishayi, if I meet him, hanta hanta vishabhakshana topi asadu, it is worse than drinking poison, so let me not meet him. No, that's not the point. So we have to meet Vishayis. We have to meet Yoshit Sangi Sangis, those who are closely associating with the opposite sex. We have to meet such people. But we are not meeting them with great eagerness. Oh, I'm going to meet this person today. So nice. No. Our mood is different. Our mood is, this poor soul is suffering. Let me give him a little Krishna consciousness. Let me give him an opportunity to engage in some service to Krishna, by which he will acquire some sukruti. Slowly, the dust from the mirror of his heart will get cleansed. That's the mood. So in that mode, we can meet people and we can talk to them and engage them in Krishna's service. And for that, first, we ourselves have to be situated in a place where the mirror of our heart is kept constantly cleansed. And to keep the mirror of our heart cleansed, every day we have to chant 16 malas of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And hear what we are chanting. If we do mindless japa, chanting without hearing, mind roaming here and there, then the mirror of the heart will not get cleansed. Some little bit cleaning will happen. It's not that nothing will happen. Some cleaning will happen, but the mirror will not get fully cleansed. Dust will still remain. So, we have to come to the point of, as it is stated here, yattat sattvagunam swacham shantam. We have to attain that state of Shuddha Sattva-guna, where our only activity is engaging in devotional service to Krishna. No other material activity is there. Then we will be situated in Swachha Sattva-guna or Vishuddha Sattva-guna, in which state Shantam Bhagavataha Padam. We will be able to become Shanta. We will be completely peaceful. No more affected by the material miseries. And Bhagavataha Padam. We will achieve the sober status of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yad ahur Vasudevakyam, which is known as Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sattva. Chittam tan Mahadatmakam. So even within Mahatattva, although we are situated in the material world, we are right now in the midst of Mahatattva, we are not in the spiritual world. Still, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. We will be able to situate ourselves in that mode of pure goodness, where we will be able to perceive Krishna everywhere at every point of time. And by that we will become peaceful and situated in Shuddha Sattva, by which we will be able to go back to Godhead. So, this is what we can understand from today's verse. If there is any question or comment, we can discuss. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
When Prabhupada went to the West, before he started this movement, he introduced chanting of Hare Krishna mantra and prasadam, and encouraged them to start with this process in Bhakti Yoga.
Yes.
Wherein they got purified slowly after these practices. And then later, after which Prabhupada introduced these 4 regulative principles and other practices in Krishna consciousness. Wherein in today's modern yogic practices, or the Jnana Marga which is being propagated, they also kind of simulate these kind of practices, wherein they don't encourage their followers to give up these bad habits immediately. So how do you differentiate the approach that Prabhupada had and these modern practitioners have in their practices?
So the question is that you are saying that there are many yogis, many spiritualists today who try to engage their people in jhana and all those things, but don't talk to them to give up their sinful activities. Compare that with Prabhupada introducing Hare Krishna mantra and the Kirtan and Prasadam and not talking about the 4 regulative principles. That's your question. How do we compare the two, right? So actually, if you see, Prabhupada did initially start with Kirtan. Prabhupada went to the Tompkins Square Park and simply started Kirtan there. And after a few days, when the people started gathering, Prabhupada told them to come for classes in 26 2nd Avenue. So actually, from the very beginning, Prabhupada started talking of the 4 regulative principles. It's not that Prabhupada did not talk about them. There were many people like Allen Ginsberg who told Prabhupada that, Swamiji, if you talk about these 4 regulative principles, no illicit sex, no intoxication and all that, nobody will come to you. So don't talk about these things. Just make them chant Hare Krishna and give prasadam. Don't talk about 4 regulative principles. Prabhupada said, no, I cannot compromise. If somebody goes away because of my talking about the 4 regulative principles, let them go. I will talk about it. And there was one group, one rock band, I think it was called what was that, Grey Dead or something like that, some crazy name. So they used to come to Prabhupada's classes. And in one of the classes, Prabhupada spoke about the 4 regulative principles. They got up and went away. They did not come back. But Prabhupada said, no, if they go, let them go. I cannot compromise the principles. So it is not true that from the beginning Prabhupada did not introduce the four principles. From the beginning Prabhupada spoke about the four regulative principles. So many people like Allen Ginsberg told Prabhupada, dissuaded Prabhupada, no, don't talk about them. In America, all these things won't work. Prabhupada said, I cannot compromise on the principles. So you see, from the beginning Prabhupada introduced. It's not that Prabhupada did not talk about that in the beginning. From the beginning Prabhupada spoke about it. And that's the uniqueness of Prabhupada. Prabhupada never compromised on the fundamental principles. Whereas the modern day people, they say you can do this also, you can do this also. Prabhupada never said that. Prabhupada said, if you engage in these sinful activities, no spiritual life, forget it. Prabhupada never gave that kind of impression. Yes?
There are some yogis who claim them to be transcendental, who have transcended these three modes of material nature and the laws of this material nature as well. So these kind of yogis inspire their followers by practicing whatever is being told in addition to what they are doing in their regular day-to-day activities. So they'll also get purified and they'll attain the stage of perfection in whatever is expected in the Jnana Marga or the Yoga Siddhis perfection. So
actually if you see, according to the Vedic scriptures, the path of Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, if you see, if you have to practice them, it begins with sannyasa. According to Ashtanga Yoga and Jnana Yoga, you cannot engage in your household affairs, regular life, and practice this also, not possible. It begins with sannyasa. Jnana begins with sannyasa. First you give up your material activities and engage yourself completely in the study of the Vedic scriptures. Then only jnana starts, otherwise no jnana. And when it comes to the Ashtanga Yoga, Krishna says in the 6th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, first thing in Ashtanga Yoga is you have to leave the city and go to the forest. There also same thing, sannyas. It begins with that. It is only in Bhakti Yoga where people can stay, sthane sthitaha shrutigatam thanuang manobir. You stay in your place and you hear about Krishna, you chant Krishna's holy name, by that you will get purified. So there is a big difference between Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. But of course, modern day people, they have diluted the process of Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, and they may claim you can keep doing whatever you do and whatever I teach you do, but that's all for cheap followers. Because if they talk the truth and tell them Jnana begins with sannyas, then who will go? Nobody will go to them. So, you can cheat people in the name of Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. But if you go by Shastra, then Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga does not begin until you take sannyas. This is the reality. Okay, so we cannot go by what these modern day people say. We go by Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains. Okay, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, in the purport, Prabhupada was mentioning about like various worship of Sankarshana and
yes.
Like what's the difference between like each tattva?
That Prabhupada has explained in the purport, no? In order to get free from false ego, one worships Sankarshana. In order to become free from mental disturbances, we worship Aniruddha, because Aniruddha is the predominating deity of the mind. And Sankarshana is the predominating deity of the ego. And the predominating deity of the intelligence is Pradyumna. So you worship Pradyumna, you will be fixed up in your intelligence. So like that. Those are the Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshana. They are predominating deities of different aspects. Vasudeva is the predominator of consciousness. Pradyumna is the predominator of intelligence. Aniruddha is the predominator of the mind. Sankarshana is the predominator of the false ego, like that. And they are represented by the respective devatas. Brahma, Shiva, all these people. So this process is given for people who have so many material desires that they are attached to devata worship, demigod worship. So for them it is said, okay, you worship Lord Shiva as a devotee of Sankarshana so that you can become free from false ego. Somebody, they want to worship Brahma, okay, you worship him as a devotee of, who is that? Pradyumna. So your intelligence will become fixed up like that. So those who are in the Sanatana Dharma system, they are too much attached to Devata worship, demigod worship. For them, these recommendations are there in the Vedic scriptures. Gradually elevate them until they come to the point where their Chetodarpana Marjanam has happened. Then they come in touch with a pure devotee. Then they start worshipping Krishna. So in our case, Prabhupada has directly engaged us in serving Krishna. That is our good fortune. Brahmanda Brahmate Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. We are all extremely rare, fortunate souls because we have come in touch with a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, and he is engaging us directly in Krishna's pure devotional service without any other motive. So that's a very great fortune which is not available even in Swarga, even in other yugas. That's why it is said in Kali Yuga, all the devatas want to take birth in the earthly planet because the process of pure devotional service is freely available. You understand? So that's how we have to understand. Any other question or comment? Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, as you are mentioning, so we should be like compassionate for other people who are like struggling. So they're thinking they're enjoying outside. So when we go and meet them, we have to engage them in service. So like that. So like when we are living with devotee, like in devotee communities, like when we see like some senior devotees, like who are like if you want to help them, like we are seeing like someone, let's say it's not coming to Mangalarti or something like that. So if we see we want to help them like that, so it's told we should not advise our seniors or something like that.
Yes.
So but if juniors are there, we can tell them like
Yeah.
you should come like that. So is it not our duty to do that, or like how to understand?
Duty is not something which can be self-assumed. I will consider this is my duty. Duty has to be assigned by superior authorities. Everybody has an assigned duty in Krishna consciousness. So whatever duty one is assigned, that only one should do. That is called duty. If it is not my assigned service, that is why Krishna also tells in the Bhagavad Gita that you go and do somebody else's service, then it is dangerous. So even if my service, what is assigned to me, I am doing it and there are a lot of faults in that, it is better to do that than to do somebody else's service perfectly. That's what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So we have to understand that duty means it is service assigned to us by our superiors. That is called duty. Now if I start thinking that I can do anything, whatever I feel like I will do, I'll think it is my duty and do, it will not be duty, it will be utpata. It will be only disturbance in the society. So we have to be very clear that I will do only what is assigned to me. This is my service given to me by my superiors, I will do this much. Something I see which is beyond my purview, my job, my duty is limited to going and informing my superior, this is what I've seen. Over. What action to be taken, not to be taken, all that is left to one superior. We don't interfere in that. So this is called duty. You understand? We cannot self-assume our duties. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Karo Paropakara. But in what way to do that Paropakara? It's not your this one. That is decided by your senior Vaishnava who is guiding you. That's why Prabhupada gave the example of the railways. The railways, they have a saying that everyone has a job, duty to ensure that the wheels of the train keep moving. This is one of the slogans of the railway department. Now, if you question, a peon is working in the office, clerk. His job is to move file from one table to another table. How is he making the wheel of the train move here? So if he starts thinking, my duty is to move the wheel of the train, the wheels of the train. So what am I doing in the office? Let me drop this and go to the railway yard and start pushing the train. That's what will happen. The file will stop moving. If the file stop moving, the train there will stop moving. So the clerk is doing his assigned service. His assigned service is to take the file from this table to the other table. He does that perfectly, the wheel of the train will keep moving. So everybody has a duty to perform. He does that duty, that will result in Paropakara. Somebody is engaged in wiping the floor of the temple hall. Now if he thinks, I have to do Paropakara for others. What is the use in cleaning the floor of the temple hall? And if you leave that service and go, the temple hall will become dirty. Then somebody comes, He comes for the first time to the temple, he will see temple is dirty and he will go away. Paropakara khatam. On the other hand, if you do your duty, assigned service, clean the temple nicely, that is my assigned service, then what will happen? Somebody will come, they will see, oh, such a clean place it is. He will appreciate, he is getting sukriti for that. That is paropakara. So, service is called duty. Not what I think, my definition of paropakara or my definition of duty is no. You understand? So, so my junior, somebody is there, he is doing something wrong. I am able to see that he is doing something wrong. First thing, is it my assigned service to correct him? If it is my assigned service, I can correct him. If it is not my assigned service, I cannot correct him. It is not my job. I can go and tell the temple commander or my senior devotee to whomever I am reporting, Prabhu, I saw this devotee doing like this. That much you can do. Taking action is left to him. Of course, if somebody rushes into the temple or altar, you have to take action there. That's a different matter. But I am saying minor interfere. So you have to use your sense of judgment and common act. When it is an emergency, when it is a life-threatening situation, you have to act, you act. There is no time to ask anybody. But if it is other things, something which is going to result in a catastrophe or something like that, it's not my duty to correct this person. So I should not do it. I should go and escalate to the superior devotee that this is what I've seen. And that devotee's duty it is to take suitable action. And now I cannot go back to him and told, Prabhu, I told you yesterday about this devotee, why you have not acted, no action has been taken. Today also I am doing the same, I am seeing him doing the same thing. That's not your job. You have already done your duty, khatam. Now whether to take action or not take action, that's left to the devotee whose service it is to take care of these things. So we have to have a proper discrimination in these things. Okay? So we'll stop here. Granthara Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.